Oh, goodness. There was one right there. He literally followed it in. Come on. Eat it. Eat it. Eat it. Got him. Over the last decade, I've caught fish in every corner of North America. From California to Mexico, Florida to New York, and all the way up to Canada, documenting it all on video for you guys.
Yes! I got it!
But as a video creator and instructor, I have generally left out one of the most important and the largest demographics in the world of fishing, and that is the bank beater, the pond prowler, the shore master.
Yeah!
In this series, I'm making it my goal to fish more bodies of water than I ever have before, but this time, from the bank. My name's Tyler, and this is 100 Ponds. Well, what's going on, folks, and welcome back to 100 Ponds. My entire goal in this series is to help you guys become better anglers by understanding the ponds you fish and the lures you select, therefore catching more bass. And I am excited about today's episode because I am finally getting to fish on camera with a really cool lure that my good buddy Alton Jones Jr. designed. Let me show you. And that is these fuzzy spheres right here. Now you're probably thinking, Tyler, what in the world is this? Is that even a lure? Well, this is the G-Crack Q-Bomb. It is my buddy Alton Jr.'s signature bait for this year. I believe they're crazy hard to find online, and so I'm gonna put this video out when the lures are available on Tackle Warehouse. I feel comfortable using these baits because Strike King doesn't make a fuzzy ball, and it's such an off-the-wall lure that I don't think many people would even think about throwing, and that's why I'm putting it in today's episode. Now we're going to be throwing the Q-Bomb on a Nico rig on one of Alton's borrowed rods here at the pond behind the Airbnb we're staying at here in North Carolina, and so it's going to be kind of an odd episode. There's probably not going to be a whole lot of like lure selection teaching, but I'm going to replace that with some really unique drone shots of the pond to show location selection, especially when it comes to depth variation. So it's not going to be your ordinary 100 Ponds video. I would argue it's even better. So enough yapping, let's get down to pond number whatever this is going to be when the baits are in stock. So the first thing I noticed about this pond when I did one quick walk around is that it is really, really clear water. So the first thing I want to say is that if you have a clear body of water, usually your lure selection is extra important. Now, if you have clear water and fish that hardly ever see lures or are starving, as in the forage is not that populated in that body of water, lure selection is not nearly as important. It's kind of like fishing in a barrel, and I think that's kind of why I'm picking this lure today, because I think fishing is probably going to be somewhat easy. But that doesn't mean the barrel is the same across the board. So if you've got, and again, this applies to ponds that are both easy and hard, you've got areas in your pond that are good and areas that are not good. Now that might change based on the time of day, and of course it'll change based on the season the bass are in. And so in this season, it is summertime here in North Carolina. The sun is coming in and out. I apologize for the inconsistent lighting, but because it's hot outside, the fish want to be in the deepest possible locations. Now, in one quick loop around, I could see where most of the deep areas were, but it wasn't until I put the drone up, which you're going to see right now, that I truly saw where the best areas on this pond are going to be. So as I pull up my phone here, I'm going to look up a screenshot of what you guys are seeing on the map. So I'm going to pause the drone shot, and you're going to see a few areas highlighted here, 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 and here. Maybe on the far left over here are going to be the best locations for this time of the year to catch fish. Now, why am I saying that? Well, it's because those areas are the darkest, therefore those are the deepest areas of the pond. So I can basically write off everything shaded in red right there. I'm not going to say I can't catch one there because it's possible, but if I'm going to spend a short amount of time fishing a body of water, I want to find the best locations for that time of year for the season. And because I know the water is warm, the fish want to be in the deepest water possible in today's pond, at least I assume they are, that's where I'm going to focus my attention. Now, I understand not everybody has a drone, but if your water is super clear, you can do one quick loop around the body of water and or use the countdown method on your lures to understand how deep your body of water is. And it might take you a few times to fish the pond, but eventually you'll figure out where the good spots are for that season, and that's why I'm going to fish those darker areas, and having a drone definitely helps me understand this pond a little more. So I just want to reiterate, not every location on your pond is going to be a good fishing location unless it is like a totally, what's the word I'm looking for? Consistent bottom pond where like there's no contour changes, but most of them out there have some kind of contour change, and at least you can find if they're on the bank or out in the middle, or they're in this corner or that corner, or on this point or in this pocket. Just like a big lake, you can pattern fish in a pond, and that's exactly what we're going to do today with the Q-Bomb. Let's get out there. So we are back down here. I'm going to kind of zoom in to this area right here. There's a small little deep section right here. It doesn't go very far out there, but it does look like it's a little bit deeper. I think the best section is going to be there and there, as y'all can see on the map though. And under these conditions, is this lure the best one to catch fish in a clear body of water? Probably not, but it's so stinking cool. You're probably wondering what this thing looks like under the water. It kind of looks like if you were to touch that science experiment thing that has like the static electricity and all the hair on your head sticks up. That's what this lure looks like in the water. Man, the entire Asian market, you know, South Korea, Japan, they have some crazy finesse tactics because their bass are extra pressured, and so that's kind of where this bait design came from. Is it going to be a staple in my tackle box? No. Is it a staple in any American fishing guy's tackle box? Usually not. Besides like the homeless fisherman, he's the only guy that I know that consistently catches big ones on it. But it's just such a unique bait, and I feel like today's body of water being slightly less pressured than most places out there, it's a good time to throw this thing. All right, nothing in that hole right there. As I guessed, they'd be in the extra deep water. So I'm gonna make a few kind of casts as I walk. Man, you have to fish this thing so slow. I can't even walk and fish it because as a weightless presentation, I mean, it's a heavy soft plastic, but it falls pretty dang slow. I don't expect there to be anything in this corner here, but I do like corners. You all know that. So gonna let it sink. I'll work one cast here, and then I'm gonna get back to the deep water in that corner where I think I'm gonna get my, my first bite. Kind of working the thing like a fluke. When you move it, all the hairs go in and then back out, kind of pulsates. And not like these fish really need anything super fancy in here. They probably bite a wacky worm or a fluke. But how cool would it be to catch them on something brand new, huh? And we've also got 2 more ponds on the property here this direction, and I'm pretty sure they're also deeper, but I've heard from the people that we rented this from, these ones don't have as many bass in there. I'm gonna make one cast though. It looks like a nice deep corner right here. And maybe them folks didn't know what they're talking about, and there's plenty of bass in here. Oh, no way. Holy cow. I got one. I got one. Yes, sir. First one on the dang fuzzy ball. Wow, look at that. Would you stinking look at that. Roof of the mouth with the VMC red line, little wacky Nico hook. Okay, well, it is proven the bass in here will bite the fuzzy Q. That was a lot quicker than I was expecting, to be honest. But I'm not gonna complain. Heck yeah. So we got multiple ponds to fish. I'm gonna get back to this one here in a second. Don't worry. It is so windy, and the Q-Bomb rigged weightless is not a good windy lure. Let's get out of here. Let's go to the calm pond. I think we're gonna get one right on this corner here. With lures like this, you really gotta watch your line to see if it jumps, because I mean, I'm letting this thing sink beneath the... Gosh, there's one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh my gosh, a nice one. A nice one. Heck yeah, let's go. Watch my line tick. I actually felt a thump there. Holy cow, this is, oh my goodness, gorgeous. Gorgeous on the Q-Bomb, yes. 2-pounder, baby. And so far, I am loving where this thing hooks them. Like, the fish hooked there hardly ever get off. That is roof of the mouth, right in the nose region. Gosh, hooks them good. And just on a straight fall, this bass right here absolutely thumped it. So I'm not going to sit here and lie and say these fish are pressured and this lure is the only thing getting them to bite. They would eat whatever. But I do know in those kind of conditions, crazy Japanese lures the fish have never seen do get bit. So if you haven't tried crazy lures like this at least once, man, give it a shot. This is fun. Oh goodness, there was one right there. He literally followed it in. Come on, eat it, eat it, eat it. Got him. Oh my gosh, right at the stinking bank. Holy cow, that was so cool. And I'm gonna be honest, I was not expecting this guy to be able to get the whole thing in his mouth, because this is a pretty bulky soft plastic, but even a little 3/4 pound bass sucked this thing in. That was so cool. Hope y'all could see that. I don't know if my wrist was blocking it or not, but He ate it right on the bank. This is so cool. I'm like 3 for 3 on hookup ratio. I definitely want to try this more in pressured ponds, especially around Dallas where I live. I bet those clear water bass ain't seen nothing like this before. I really think this bait kind of fits in the same mold as the same purpose as a drop shot, because it sinks super slow, and I think a lot of the skirt material it has sticking out of it probably keep it from snagging random stuff on the bottom, so it's probably relatively weedless, especially rigged the way I have it, where the hook is up top, almost like a frog hook, and it would take the bait rolling totally over to actually hook anything. And so I've had no problems getting any kind of snot grass or algae on there. Now maybe this on a drop shot, and I'm glad the good sections of this pond are on the protected side today, because it makes it much easier to watch my line to see if it jumps or starts running. Because with a whole bunch of slack out on a bait like this, you're never gonna feel the bite. You have to watch for it. And so I definitely got fortunate that the wind is blowing the right direction. There's one. See, watch my line go out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Get in here. Gorgeous. So cool. This is fun, man. Grab the fish by the pressure points right there. Then grab them by the lip. Especially if you got treble hooks on your lure, do the old pressure point grab. It's right behind the gills, right there. And the fish is kind of paralyzed, can't move. Oh, well, he can move enough. Thank you, buddy. Have a good life. And they are loving this color Q-bomb right here. I kind of want to go with a smaller one, but the problem is, like, let me show you what I got here. I've got an orange color and I've got a smaller black and yellow one. This is a green pumpkin and chartreuse. I'll probably stick with this one. Maybe I can take one more loop around. And it's wild holding these things, because as of the time I'm filming this video, they are out of stock practically around the globe. Alton has the largest collection of them on the planet in a bag in his boat, because again, it's his company that he's sponsored by, and it's his signature lure that they released over in Japan, and now it's made its way to the States, and they're definitely not producing enough of them. I think they should be going a little faster, but I hope by the time I release this video, there's at least a few left. Problem is, Tackle Warehouse probably does a drop and they sell out almost instantly, so I may just end up putting this video out when they're out of stock, and y'all can put your little notifications on Tackle Warehouse to let you know when they come back. Oh, we got a baby turtle out there. Y'all ever seen a bass actually eat a turtle? I feel like that's like a thought in my mind. Like, it's gotta happen, but I've never seen it happen. I've never seen a baby turtle get chomped up. I've seen a baby bird get eaten on top of the water, but never a baby turtle. So drop a comment below. What's the craziest thing you've seen a bass eat? And so by throwing funky stuff like this that has a big presence, same reason why big glide bait swim baits work, because they get the fish to come look at it, and then maybe you can trick them, maybe not. Sometimes it hurts to have a fish look at your lure and not eat it and you can see them. But I mean, it probably happens a lot more than we think. And so I'd rather see it happen, maybe then be able to adjust color or cadence or size to get those fish to bite. Again, don't think I have to do that in this pond, but I definitely do want to fish in the right areas. And I think I've done that so far. Oh, I've got one. Oh, I had one. Dang it, he must have had the skirt. There he is. There he is. Yes, sir. Come on, get up in here. Get up in this bank. Once again, though, same exact location, right there by the nose. I'm not necessarily sure it's just this bait. I mean, this hook is also a fantastic hook. It's chosen by not just pros that are sponsored by VMC, but there are so many pros, I know because I'm on tour, that use this thing that are not sponsored. I'm making sure to keep my rod tip down even in between retrieves, because if I raise it up, the wind, well, pause right now, the wind ends up grabbing my line and kind of makes it look like I'm getting a bite, as in the lure is swimming away from me. So if I keep my rod tip down on the retrieve and in between, I can really keep a good eye on the direction my line is going, and I can really tell if it jumps or starts swimming. And that tip goes for Texas rigs and weightless soft plastics and wacky worms, anything you want to really keep an eye on down there on the bottom. Keeping your rod tip down in the wind, keeping your line down, helps you see it a lot better. So we've ran out of the deep section right here. I'm going to pull back up my drone shot and see where the next deep section is. Looks like this whole stretch here stays a little deeper, but it doesn't get deep until, I think, the fountain over there. So I'm going to kind of work this relatively quick. Short cast just to the deep sections as I go around this point. There's one. No way. Heck yeah. A little shallower than I would expect, but still the deeper areas compared to most of the pond. Thank you, buddy. He bottom lipped himself there. So I guess it doesn't hook him top lip dead center every time. We got to a deeper section here. I'm gonna make a long cast far away from it. With the wind ripple, it should help the fish not be able to see me, but I'm just gonna be extra cautious, make a longer cast. Just little subtle twitches, nothing aggressive. No need to, Texas rig it by lifting up, dropping down. Just let that thing get to the bottom. Twitch, 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 twitch. Pause for 10 seconds. Okay, maybe 6 seconds. Twitch, twitch. Gosh, there we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Felt him thump it on the bottom. Another one. Perfect location. Look at that. Roof of the mouth. Wasn't coming off. This is so stinking cool, catching him on this bait. Alton's been talking about it for a long time. I'm excited for him. Again, I'm not with G-Crack, but as my best friend, I gotta support what he does and the things he helps build. All right, last cast to basically the only good deep section left that I couldn't hit from that bank. I can hit from out here on the dock. And if we don't get anything here, you're gonna see the next shot at one of the other ponds. Because why the heck not? Goodness, there we go. He wanted the bait falling. That's so weird. I twitched it on the bottom, didn't eat it, cast back out there, and as it's fallen, he nabs it. He was no grande though. He was very small. Let's check out this pond real quick. It's right next to a dang deer stand. And this one definitely looks the shallowest. I mean, like even out in the middle, I can see the, what you call them, like the raised areas where the dirt's raised up. So this is kind of the least appealing pond, at least for this lure. I'm in the clear water mindset right now. Maybe if I come out here with a top water or a vibrating jig, it'd be a little better, but we have an area of stumps here. Maybe I'll catch one on the stumps. Goodness, got him, got him. Yes, sir. Watched him come out of the dang stump and got it. Heck yeah. The only piece of cover I can see in this whole pond held the bass. And once again, roof of the dang mouth. Thank you, buddy. Man, catching them in clear water is so fun, especially shallow because you can watch them eat it. Oh my goodness, I love this. I'm having so much fun. If you're not subscribed yet and you're having a good time, go ahead and hit that button. You are missing out on so much excitement by not subscribing. I mean, look at those stumps right there. Beautiful. Fish came off that edge right there. I wish this whole pond was covered in those. Now that would be fun. But alas, it is not. And for the sake of time, let's head back, fish these two overhanging trees, which on this second pond are definitely the most obvious locations. And then we'll call it a day. These two do not count as other ponds in the series. That would be boring. I want to show you all cool places and cool lures. And let me tell you, I've got some awesome locations planned for the next few 100 ponds episodes. Oh, I'm excited. Nothing on that tree and nothing on this tree. We got one more to go. See if I can kind of bend it around. Nope, bad cast. I want to land it right on the edge, more or less. See, that's how you can tell the population in a pond isn't high, because if it's sunny and hot and there's a lot of fish in here, there should always be fish on the obvious structure that's protecting these fish from the sun, and there wasn't any fish on these. So you can't win them all, especially in ponds that don't have a whole lot of bass. I'm just happy we won quite a few of them and had a whole lot of fun fishing a brand new lure. Well, my goodness, folks, what a stinking episode. Not only did we catch some fish, we learned about a brand new lure. And I say I learned about it, I knew it existed, but I really figured out how to fish this thing, at least on this specific style of rigging. I reiterated to you guys how important it is to choose the right locations to fish, that not everywhere holds a bass. And I think all around we just had a good old-fashioned time. So if you like this video, go ahead, hit that like button, comment down below if you've ever caught one on a crazy lure like this, what the craziest lure you've caught a fish on is. I will have all of my tackle that I would have thrown this combo on, my rod, reel, and line, my spinning pond combo. Again, I flew here to North Carolina, so I didn't have my own combo. I'm using Outboards for today, but I will have the one that I recommend down in the video description. Hopefully the Q-Bomb is in stock. If not, wait around. It's an awesome bait. You should pick one up. If y'all want to see my last 100 ponds video, it'll be up here in the corner. I am hot and hungry, and I want to make some lunch, take a shower. My name's Tyler, and we'll see you guys next time right here on 100 Ponds.